Hello everyone, my name's Justin Prince and welcome to today's episode of our NBA 2K97 MyLeague, where the Vancouver Grizzlies enter today's episode still looking for their first victory against an official opponent this season. Three untouchables came into play from the early games of the season. Bryant Reeves, Shareef Abdul-Rahim, Greg Anthony, big parts of the offense. Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors put up some offense and demolished Vancouver 129-98 in the next game after that matchup against the Trailblazers. Meanwhile, against Denver, after some super simming, things got very intriguing. 4:23 to go in the fourth quarter. Bryant Reeves tries to drive down low. Big Country draws the N1 and fouls out Bobby Thompson. Moments later, Lonzo Ellis down over Reeves gets the response back to trim the gap to 3. Now leading by 6, under 3 minutes to go. Pick and fade with Abdul-Rahim, goes for the post hook, drains it with the size mismatch down low, giving Vancouver an 8-point advantage. But that advantage wouldn't last for long. Ellis draws the N1 in response on top of Abdul-Rahim on the slam. Both teams in the bonus from this point, down by 3 points now Denver. In response, the drive inside from Stiff. Brian Stiff able to make the bucket. Then on the fast break, able to stuff it down to give Denver the lead. Under a minute to go now. Pick and roll. Bryant Reeves stuffs it in for the slam on back. With 46 seconds to go though, Denver puts their foot on the gas. Passed outside. Sarunas Marciulionis hits the jump shot. Seconds later at the other end, Marciulionis picks up the steal once more, setting things up for Ellis on the slam on the fast break. In the end, the Denver Nuggets hold on to a 7-point win over the Vancouver Grizzlies, and what could have been. Vancouver had outshot the Denver Nuggets from the field in that one. Against the Washington Bullets, meanwhile, Washington leading and winning 102-78 the final. Against Minnesota, it was a little bit closer, but not close enough. Vancouver lost by 10 to KG and the Timberwolves. Meanwhile, in the front office, changes are afoot. Stu Jackson stepping away from the head coaching role, Lionel Hollins leaving as well as a result of 2 firings, and as a result, 2 stopgaps have been inserted. The top 2 assistants in the free agent market for coaches. And Owen Taylor and Dana Falk will coach out the rest of the 96-97 season for a little bit of a change, as well as a different playbook with the Memphis Grizzlies playbook rather as well to add to the Vancouver play style. Now taking on the Charlotte Hornets early in the first quarter. Anthony Mason drives on through an open paint for the layup. Moments later, up by 4 now are the Hornets. Multiple chances for Vancouver, all say one word: no. Picked up by the rebound by Vlade Divac in turn, setting up Glenn Rice for the drive down the baseline for 2 points. That led to a super sim, where in the end the Charlotte Hornets controlled the rest of the game 97-72, the final, shooting 43%. But the next game brought a bit of a shock, because this was not expected with our performance against the Clippers the last time. Dominating performances from Abdul-Rahim, Bryant Reeves in this one. As while the bench was clicking all throughout the night in the Super Sim. Chris Robinson, for example, hitting the 3 right here. Vancouver leading by double digits most of the way, with buckets such as Evan Mobley's slam helped secure them their first official victory of 1996-97. Taking a look at the awards, Alonzo Mourning the favorite for MVP, Shareef Abdul-Rahim 4th in the Rookie of the Year standings, while Danny Manning currently leads the 6th Man of the Year rankings. Defensive Player of the Year currently led by Hakeem Olajuwon, along with 2 Chicago Bulls in the mix. But today brings us against the Toronto Raptors, the other Canadian expansion team for the 1995 year. The question is, can we beat Toronto? Because this season hasn't played out well. They are without Marcus Camby, however, with a twisted right knee. How will the battle of the in-season edition of the Naismith Cup go? Let's find out. Did you know that the 2 Canadian basketball teams battle each preseason for the Naismith Cup? Today, the 2 Canadian basketball teams get ready to duke it out in the regular season. Toronto, Vancouver, up next. You're looking at downtown Vancouver from moments ago as fans now get ready for tonight's matchup between the Toronto Raptors and the Vancouver Grizzlies from the garage on NBA on TNT. Justin Prince with you for tonight's coverage. Let's take a look at your starting lineups. For Toronto, it's Williams, Jones, Wright, Christie, and Stoudemire. Vancouver is Lynch, Abdul-Rahim, Reeves, Peeler, and Anthony. We're all set to go on TNT. NBA basketball from Vancouver is underway. Starting off with the first possession is Damon Stoudemire. Down low for the opportunity. Sharon Wright, yes. And a combined 7 victories between these two teams coming into today. These Canadian basketball clubs looking to turn things around in their franchise histories. Anthony response, no good. Stoudemire with the rebound. Stoudemire, last year's Rookie of the Year, pulls out for the mid-range, yes! And the Raptors starting off fairly hot from the field, 2 for 2. 40 minutes into the action, Peeler going for Vancouver's first bucket, can't get it. Stoudemire this season coming into today, 19 points per game. Give it a drop, another bucket is Toronto, Christie. Justin Prince with you. 1 minute into the first quarter, 7-0 run for Toronto to start here on TNT. Back around the outside, Abdul-Rahim going for the low post. Guarded by Popeye Jones, going for the spin, can't get the lucky roll. And Vancouver ice cold to start from the field. Pulling up for 3 in transition, getting it to go, yes. Walt Williams, timeout already, Vancouver. And Toronto dominating from the get-go so far. Momentum going Toronto's direction as we welcome you back to NBA on TNT. 10-0 is the run so far in the first 80 seconds from the garage in Vancouver. Abdul-Rahim getting the chance down low, can't get it to go. Jones with the rebound this time. Williams moves it on up. Back down low, Stoudemire, yes! And Toronto continuing to roar their way forward on the board. Grizzlies looking for a roar on back with just 2 victories entering today's matchup. Peeler for 3, gets the first bucket in the game. And Peeler, keep in mind, has been stellar from deep this season, 40% from 3 coming into tonight. Down low, Stoudemire, no. Rebound picked up by Lynch, moved up by Greg Anthony. Just past 2 minutes into the first quarter, 12-3 the score. Nearly stolen away, diving for it is Lynch. Passes it away, Popeye Jones gets it. Moved over to Williams. Going for the jump shot transition, yes. And a 6 for 7 start from the field for Toronto, 1 for 5 for Vancouver. Grizzlies looking to break the run. Abdul-Rahim, no. And Abdul-Rahim, one of the top scoring rookies coming into today, still looking for his first bucket of the day. 19 points per game. Jones, yes. Pick and roll working. And a 16-3 run in the first 3 minutes alone so far. Aaron Williams watches Reeves set it up. Jones gets it stolen away. Stoudemire driving on by his defender for another bucket. And Vancouver cannot stop the Toronto Raptors offense. An 18-3 run in less than 4 minutes. Anthony avoids 2 reach-ins, goes off to Peeler looking for a 3 back, can't get it. Reeves, second chance, draws the whistle. Ryan Reeves will go to the line to shoot for 2. Big Country with 15.6 points per game entering tonight. 9.4 rebounds on the board. First one's good. He's also been good at distribution this season, but speaking of distribution, Toronto with 10 fast break points out of their 18 already. Second one is good from the free throw line, an 18-5 run now, Toronto. The Grizzlies looking to make a stop. Can they get one? No. Stoudemire again. Damon Stoudemire, 8 points to Vancouver's 5. trying to drive inside meanwhile, gets a size mismatch, guarded by Stoudemire, gets it to bounce off the glass. Big Country with the bucket. Run has settled on down now as Doug Christie sets up the offense. Jones back to Christie. Christie's seen a big improvement in time coming into today compared to his previous stints. Jones off to Christie. Back to Stoudemire. Down to 2 in the shot clock. Contested jumper, no bounce. Second chance, no good. Here comes Peeler. Move back over to Anthony on the outside. Abdul-Rahim, long jump shot. No good off the pick. Abdul-Rahim gets the ball for the second chance and the shot clock reset. Moved over for Anthony. Abdul-Rahim, down low, yes! And Abdul-Rahim, the former Cal Bear, picking up the bucket. And so far, that rookie battle this season could come down to 3 players. Antoine Walker, Abdul-Rahim, and don't forget about the favorite Allen Iverson as Christie drains the 3. All 3 have been dynamic scorers in their own right for their respective ball clubs. Abdul-Rahim looking to add more points, gets it. And Abdul-Rahim continuing to start to pick up buckets after a slow start. Approaching halfway through this first quarter. Down low, Christie, yes. Former guard from Pepperdine College picking up the bucket once more. Screen set once again, Abdul-Rahim. Another pick and roll, another slam. Back and forth, they go on the board now. 12 points the separation between Toronto and Vancouver. Down low in response, Stoudemire to the line to shoot for 2. And so far, Stoudemire putting up huge numbers in this one. Already getting the chance for double-digit points with this trip after the Anthony foul. First is good. Stoudemire this season averaging about the same totals points and assist-wise. 19.4 points, 7.4 assists per game. Compared to his 19 and 9 last season. The former Pac-10 Player of the Year. Free throws make it 27-13. After substitutions, Lynch, 3, good. George Lynch reduces the gap back down to 11. Down low. The new sub, good. Clifford Rozier. Louisville big man, the former 1994 pick 16 member of that draft class. Getting the bucket there. Lynch response, back rim, no. Reeves, second chance, stops it right hand and falls over. Vancouver starting to pick up some buckets after their very slow start now. Christie draws the reach. Second team foul, first person. Timeout called by Vancouver, still trailing by 11. Welcome back to Vancouver. 29-18 the score, 5:22 to go in the first quarter. Toronto looking to build on their advantage. The Grizzlies looking to make a game out of this. Battle between the 2 Canadian teams. Stoudemire, good. And so far, Toronto 87% from the field. Unbelievable. And a quick whistle. Rozier called for the personal. Second team foul. 54 seconds to go in the first quarter. 50-29 now the score. Toronto on fire all throughout the frame. Looking to set things up around the offense. Stoudemire still on the court. Still keeping it red hot. Yes. And Stoudemire yet again with the bucket. Setting things back up. Vancouver. Lynch. Alongside Blue Edwards. Joined alongside Phil Chilcutt amongst the front court. No good on the attempt. Wide open defense. Nothing Anthony and Rogers can do on that one. Down to the final 20 seconds of the first frame. Quick 3, no good. Too far left and too far in general. Final shot of the corner coming up for Toronto. Down low, wide open, it's good. Over Miller, the big O. And Vancouver struggling from the onset. 1 second to go in the quarter. Chucking it up, no good. The Raptors build on to their lead 56-29 after 12 minutes of play here on NBA on TNT from Vancouver. Welcome back to the garage, General Motors Place, for more coverage of NBA on TNT, where the Toronto Raptors are in control 56-29, and the first of 2 battles between these Canadian ball clubs this season, the second of their matchups taking place in just a few weeks' time. Justin Prince with you on NBA on TNT. As on the floor for Vancouver after the steal, Anthony Edwards, Rogers, Abdul-Rahim, Chilcutt, Stoudemire. Once again, mid-range, this time a rare miss. Second chance draws the contact, then to back to line to shoot for 2. To back. 7 foot from Croatia, former second rounder who played 3 years in Europe, a 3-time EuroLeague champion, and a 4-time Yugoslavian League champion as well. And coming back from a groin injury that he suffered last season, a strained groin in fact. Healer, Edwards, and Abdul-Rahim coming back into the game meanwhile for Vancouver with this stoppage. Second no good off the back of the rim. Abdul-Rahim with the rebound. Quickly move down to Peeler. On his own, guarded by Stoudemire, gets a screen. Mismatch now with too big of a size in front. Second chance, it's good. No box out from Stoudemire. Rogers putting in the bucket. Give credit to Roy Rogers so far off the bench, 5-5 on the season as Blue Edwards draws the foul. Reaching for him, here comes Bryant Reeves to give Rogers a breather. Coming up to 1 minute into the second quarter, 57-31 the score for the Raptors over the Grizzlies here on NBA on TNT. Miller gives it off to Williams for 3. Can't get the roll. Kicked around now for Peeler. Trying to keep the tempo up. Slows it back down. Off to Anthony. Anthony going for the play set. Gives it down to Edwards. Trying to draw contact and does. Blue Edwards go to the line to shoot for 2. Blue Edwards started all 82 games for Vancouver in their inaugural season. The only player that had that honor. Second free throw is good. And keep in mind, already a member of the ECU Athletics Hall of Fame earlier this decade. Down low, Toronto, no good. Moved on up now by Anthony. Kick back to Edwards, long 3, gets it, splash. To a 21-point advantage for the Raptors. Down low. No good. Moved up now for Anthony. Reeves setting up the screen for the pick and roll. Anthony takes it all the way to the cup. Reeves can't get it under the cup. Second chance rejected out of bounds to the grandstands. Inbound coming up for Reeves. Back outside for 3. Yes, he's got it. Anthony. And Vancouver's showing some life now, trimming the gap down to 18. Screen set up top. Stoudemire. Separation from Anthony again. Steps back for the mid-range. Gets it. Damon Stoudemire continues up the onslaught. 23 points in the first half alone. Reeves. Down low he goes. Gets the ball for the mismatch. With the separation. Yes. Starting to get a bit back and forth. Toronto in response. Nearly the N1. Reeves caught for the personal. First personal in this one. That brings up Hubert Davis to the line. Davis Former first rounder from 1992's draft. Highest three-point percentage in the history of the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. Was traded to Toronto in the offseason. That trade also included Doug Christie, keep in mind. Second free throw from Davis. Good. Approaching 3 minutes into the second quarter, Toronto up by 20. Anthony gives it off to Peeler for three again. Yes, he's got it. And the Grizzlies starting to bang threes from outside. Rain-a-dang-dang. Moved back by Anthony. Moved over to Edwards. Trying to size up the small forward. Can't do so. Anthony with the screen from Reeves now. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Lou Edwards from the corner. Moves it on forward for Abdul-Rahim. Yes! And Sharif Abdul-Rahim has 8 points so far tonight, all from the paint. Vancouver, the lowest the lead's been. This gap was nearly up to 30 points earlier on in this first quarter of the game. Jones, guarded by Abdul-Rahim, gets rejected. Here comes Reeves off the rebound. Over to Anthony. Trying to push on the break. Reeves slows it back down. Sets up high post. Screen from Abdul-Rahim for help. Back over to Anthony. 10 on the shot clock. Move back to Blue. Edwards, cutting. Pick and roll. Stolen by Williams. Moved over to Davis for the bucket. Yes. Approaching 7:30 to go in this second quarter. Reeves down low, no good. And a quick reach in. Reeves showing some frustration. The next one puts Vancouver over the limit. 8 and 8. 8 points, 8 rebounds for Big Country so far for that point. Stoudemire, meanwhile, keeping up a red-hot beginning of this one. Down low, right, bucket, good. And all of a sudden, Vancouver's hot spell has turned into a dry spell. Anthony. Getting the paint. Looks to cut inside, backs it up instead, looks for the space, looks for the J, draws the N1. Davis called for the personal. 2:46 to go. Second free throw drops. Toronto leads 82-58. Vancouver has shown signs of momentum here today, but it hasn't been sustained success for the Grizzlies. Chilcott, high post, back outside Mayberry to Peeler for three. Got it. And the gap is still hanging around that 20-point mark. Toronto has scored point after point here in this second. Christie wide open three. Yes. Christie averaging just about 9 points per game entering today, looking to bump that up. The performance that's built up here so far tonight. Abdul-Rahim, meanwhile, another mismatch, low post. Another bucket, low post over Stoudemire. Pick and roll has been a major part of Vancouver's offense, but Toronto has guessed right on it 1 in every 2 possessions. Rogers, high jumper, back rim. Final 2 minutes to work with in the second quarter. Mayberry. Off to Peeler again for three. Yes! Anthony Peeler, the 17-point per game scorer, continues to splash from downtown. Response, Stoudemire. Guarded by Chilcott. Back out to Williams. Williams after 2 size-ups. Going for the J? No. Rozier, second chance, puts it in easy. Mayberry. Looks to cut inside. Back over to Lynch. Long J. Can't get it to drop from outside the arc. 56 seconds to go in the second quarter with a reach-in called. Mayberry with already 4 personals. Toronto already in the bonus.
Shooting for Toronto, Damon
Stoudemire making the first of 2 in what has been an unstoppable onslaught from him offensively. No good on the second, and a charge for Peeler. His second personal. Vancouver starting to spiral even more now. In their first battle of Canada for the season, for the in-season Naismith Cup. Nowhere gives it off to Stoudemire. Quickly approaching halfway to the shot clock. Stoudemire after 2 reaches, off to Rogers. 1-on-1 in the post. Chill cut defense. Rogers back to Christie. 3 in the shot clock, the drive, the cut, the personal. 18 fouls this quarter for Vancouver.
Shooting for Toronto, Doug Christie at the line for 2.
First is good. And the second also drops. Cutting inside, Anthony can't get it a drop, but contact driven. The big O caught for the personal, and Miller is second. As Peeler makes the first of 2. We talked about the scoring, 40.1%. Check that, 0.4 from 3. How about near perfect from the line, 90% approaching that mark with those 2. 90-68, shot clock now running about a half a second difference. Stoudemire, quick J, good.
Damon
Stoudemire has been near unstoppable. Rogers, dunk, good. Last shot of the quarter, possibly no. Free throws coming instead. Peeler with his 3rd personal. With 7 seconds to go in this half.
Taking 2 shots.
Screen set for the final shot. Anthony watches Peeler miss it. That means after 24 minutes, the Toronto Raptors lead 94-70 from Vancouver. More coverage coming up after the break. The Vancouver skyline now filled with lights. Toronto lighting up the scoreboard in response. 94-70 the score, entering the second half of play as the hometown Grizzlies struggling to keep up with the onslaught led by Damon Stoudemire. 20-plus points in this one already as Lynch goes for the 3, can't get it. Abdur-Rahim second chance, no good. For Toronto, it's Stoudemire, Christie, Wright, Williams amongst the starting 5 for the quarter. Rounding out and grouping Jones. Christie, good. 20 points for the guard, one of his best career games. A plus 35 for the starters for reference. Stolen away by Stoudemire. Moved up by the guard. The captain finds Wright. Goaltending called against Reeves. And this seems to be the epitome of what to expect for the Grizzlies the rest of the way, possibly, as they are a very young team. The peak age, 30. Down low. Reeves, good. Stoudemire gives it off to Williams. Back to Christie. 10 on the shot clock. Stoudemire keeping things patient. Gets the screen from Jones. Another separating mark. Another pass out. Another swish. 72% shooting. You've heard that right. From Toronto. 72%. Vancouver shooting 50. With shots like Peeler's all night long, would be winning it with any other team or any other game, but not tonight with the way the defense has been as some may call it Matador-style defense. No good from the jumper. Here comes Lynch. Stoudemire with 34 this game in the double-double. Reeves with the slam. Getting separation on the quick pick and roll set up by Big Country. Slowing it down, still Stoudemire. Bit more of a patient look. Christie getting separation, no. Put back, easy. Easy street seems to be the calling for the Raptors tonight. Outside Peeler, over to Reeves. Going for the spin, the post, the bucket. Big Country's got 14 this game. Christie shedding the defense nearly. Going for the three. Getting the roll, yes. Peeler nearby on the defense. Whenever there's been a positive for Vancouver, Toronto's one-up them almost every time. Nearly stolen away by the Raptors again. Peeler looking to peel away the defenders. Getting the three attempt, getting it to swish. Vancouver still trailing by 23. 8:50 to go in the third. Christie gives it off to Wright. Back around to Stoudemire. 6 on the shot clock once more for Toronto. Wide open right. Double defense coming in. That's double trouble for the paint defense tonight. Pick and roll back from Vancouver. Quickly covered up. Peeler trying to search a way to peel around the defenders. Can't. Gets it stolen away by Wright. Moved over to Christie. 8 turnovers for Vancouver so far. Christie with the pump, the drive, no good. Second chance, Wright, good. In the heart of the defense. Jerome Wright, the former Clemson Tiger. Back in response, Anthony, yes. Anthony with 8 points, 11 assists so far tonight compared to Stoudemire's 34 and 15. Make it 36 for the captain. And Mighty Mouse continuing to chomp at the bit of this defense. Moved over to Lynch, going for a three of his own. Can't get it to go again. Not been the prettiest of nights for George Lynch, the 6 points per game scorer. Response, Christie gets it. Corner, long two. Approaching halfway through the third quarter, 113-84 the score. Down low, Reeves, contested, yes. And a double-double for Bryant Reeves, 16 points, 10 rebounds now in this one. They were trying to smother Christie. Moved over Stoudemire, off to Williams, long Trey gets it. Turn that tray into a silver platter of points again for Toronto. Raheem sets up screens. Drawing contact, Anthony. 90 seconds to go in the third. Long Trey getting it. Robinson. Chris Robinson making it swish. 128-101 the score here on NBA on TNT. Post move set up by Toronto, forcing a pump. Moved around for Christie. Alley-oop, it's good. And the gap nearly 30 for the Raptors over the Grizzlies. What can you say? Dinosaur eating the Grizzly Bears. Moden good. Robinson with the assist this time. Slowly coming it down, Davis. Moved over for Miller. Bucket good. Toronto. Chance for a 2-for-1 in turn for Vancouver. Stolen away instead by Christie. Christie, coast, 2, no coast. Second chance, Long. Back outside for Davis. The tray, can't get it. Third chance, Miller is good. And the former 22nd pick of the 92 draft with the putback. Shot clock is off. Will Vancouver play it to its strength? Stolen away instead from Robinson. From half court, no. After 3 quarters of play, 134-104 the score here on NBA on TNT. In a painful game for the Vancouver Grizzlies, for those just tuning in, 134-104, Toronto the score here in Vancouver. JustinPSports with you after the backcourt violation. The Raptors have been unbelievably strong from the field. At halftime, they shot upwards of 75-80%. Healer rejected down low to start off the quarter for Vancouver. Trying to get the steal. Moden gets it. Healer sets up along the outside of the arc. Move back to Mobley. Instead, Mobley post spin. Left hook. No. Moved on up by one of the oldest players in the NBA. Long gets it. John Long from 1978's draft class with the bucket. Toronto still shooting more than 67%. Healer, contested 3. Way too strong. Vancouver shot too many threes, if anything. Upwards of 40 plus. Second chance good from the Raptors. Past 1 minute into the fourth quarter here on TNT. 138-104. Vancouver down that mark. Moden, 3, no. The Grizzlies, once again with a scoring drought. Upwards of 2 minutes now. Robinson. Watches, gives this off to Peeler. Screen set for the roll. Peeler going for the mid-range. Can't get it a swish. Rebound picked up this time by Reggie Slater, the journeyman. Going down the tempo, the Raptors again for the Long jumper, good. Long. The second oldest player in the NBA, mind you. 3 years older is the oldest. Stolen away by Williams again. Going for the mid-range on the transition. No, Miller, another putback right over top Peeler. Vancouver with this still looking for their 3rd overall victory of the season. Peeler gets a screen. Jumper, gets it to roll around the world. Peeler is leading the way in scoring for Vancouver now, 27 points compared to Stoudemire's 36. Long misses down low. Moved up to Moden. Moved back to Robinson. Another 3, another miss. And it's not been a jolly crowd, to say the least. Reference to what you're seeing on the boards. Meanwhile, reach Mobley first. This game may go down as one of the highest scoring games in the history of the league and one of the biggest scoring margins in NBA history. 138-127. Robinson chips away at that to make it 178-130. But a gap of almost 50. And a combined scoring total of more than 300 points. Unbelievable tonight from Vancouver. Down low, good. Hubert Davis. Down to the final 30 seconds. Anthony off to Robinson. Moved over to Anthony. Back over to Moden for another 3. Another miss. Brickhouse is about 10 stories tall now. that's set up in the corner by some of the fans with beer cans. Shot clock is off. Toronto picking up the victory over their Canadian sisters. 180-130 the final for the Raptors over the Grizzlies. I'd like to thank you for tuning in for tonight's coverage of NBA on TNT. The Raptors pick up victory 6 of the season over Vancouver at the Garage. I'd like to thank you for tuning in for tonight. For the rest of our crew, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. 180-130 the final. And that game turned out to be extremely painful. 2-16 for the Vancouver Grizzlies on the season now. 50-point loss to Toronto despite Peeler's 27 points. It was not enough to keep up with the onslaught of the 40 consecutive plus points in 2 quarters for Toronto, and they're 67% from the field. 54 three-point attempts. Only making 18 is not going to win you games. I'd like to thank you for tuning in for this episode of NBA 2K97 MyLeague. The next time we hit the court, we'll see if we can pick up some W's.